everyone to the Lomita Chamber of Commerce Member Spotlight. We are here today with one of our fellow chamber members, Ms. Dee McGuire. She's a financial services professional for New York Life Insurance and Investments. She's also an ambassador with the Chamber of Commerce. An ambassador as an extension of the Lomita Chamber, and really is part of our outreach to our membership. So I know she's been engaging with a lot of our fellow members and other businesses in the community here in Lomita and the South Bay to encourage engagement and get people to get involved, just to get them more exposure to their business. So with that, I know Dee hails from New York. She describes herself as a New York girl, and here she is in Southern California and working for the iconic New York Life Insurance. She is definitely passionate about providing solutions to her clients that give them that financial security and peace of mind. And don't we all need a little dose of that these days in a very uncertain world, right? So she's going to talk to us a little bit about how she approaches financial planning, other kinds of investment decisions, and how she helps businesses and business owners enhance their protection strategies. So it's accumulating wealth, right, and minimizing taxes, and there's a lot more she's going to elaborate on. So welcome, Dee. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me today, Heidi. Appreciate it.
Sure. So tell us a little bit, what does it mean to be a financial services professional? Tell us a little bit more about exactly what it is you do.
I wasn't sure what it was either until I walked into New York Life a couple of years ago, and I just thought it was an insurance company. And, you know, as I started to understand about the business and the company a little bit more, I was really impressed and really interested in learning more and taking that information and bringing it to other people. So I moved from New York City, gosh, almost 11 years ago. I came out here for a job. I worked in the jewelry industry, and it was in the middle of the last crisis, which was the financial crisis of 2008, 2009. And you know, jobs were really scarce in New York, and I was offered a job in LA, and I was like, I'm gonna check out LA and see how it looks and see how it works for me. And I decided to stay, and I absolutely love the West Coast. So.
Well, you made the right choice. I mean, here in the South Bay, I think we're all a little biased for those of us who've made it here. Yeah, I grew up here, so I'm definitely biased, but it's a great place. We have our challenges sometimes, but we're glad to have you here. And so how many years have you been in business and doing this line of work?
So I've been with New York Life 3 years, and it's an incredible company. I work for one of the top offices in the country. We're doing a really amazing job making an impact in Southern California. And I have an entire team of experts, consultants, lawyers, you name it, on my team to help us bring great solutions to professionals and business owners.
So tell me, you know, New York Life is a huge company, right? And I know I've only learned a couple of the resources that you have available. So what's maybe an interesting fact about your business or New York Life that most people don't know? You think there's kind of an assumption when they hear, you know, the company that you represent, that they have no idea that New York Life also does, or Dee McGuire offers X, Y, and Z on top of life insurance or investments?
Yeah, so some really interesting tips about New York Life. First, we are celebrating our 175th anniversary this year. So we've been through every major crisis and event in American history and are really financially strong. We have $26 billion in surplus assets, which is an incredible amount of money.
More than I have. I need to talk to some financial service professionals here.
More than a lot of the banks. And, you know, the company's really financially sound. And many people are surprised to know that we are a full service service financial institutions. So in addition to life insurance, which is our hallmark product line, we offer long-term care insurance, and we have an entire investments division called New York Life Investments. We have our own proprietary mutual funds, plus a whole investment advisory platform where you can, trade any fund that is out there. So we offer our clients a broad array of services and offer them holistic planning so they're able to get their insurance needs met, as well as build a plan for their retirement, for their investments, and for their businesses long term.
So with the situation that we're in today, what should people be looking at, do you think, with regards to their financial situation now in the time of COVID? And I'm going to break that up into maybe two questions. As a business owner, and maybe from a personal portfolio or personal financial situation.
Well, COVID really made people stop and think about what would happen if they passed away prematurely. And especially in the beginning, we didn't know how quickly it was going to spread. So I got a lot of phone calls for life insurance in April and May, and the company sold a lot of life insurance, and it made people really think about what would happen if they were to pass away prematurely. So I'm happy that people took action, and a lot of people got their insurance that they were kind of putting off for whatever reasons. So that's important. Like I think for us as entrepreneurs, we need to be prepared for anything now. I mean, nobody expected a pandemic like this where businesses would be shut down for, weeks and months at a time. So, now is the time to sit with somebody like me or someone you trust to really review your financial affairs. Do I have the right insurance in place? Do I have a plan for my business if something should happen to me? Do I have a succession plan? Do I have money coming in? Should I have to shut my doors down indefinitely? Do I have money for my family? If I'm a primary breadwinner or the business owner and I suddenly pass away, where does that leave the state of my business and my family? So coming to someone like me, we could talk about those things and get some plans in place for you so you can have a little more peace of mind.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a professional in this area at all, but some of those products can actually be used to help you financially during some of those times, right? So what do you think some of the common misconceptions are about life insurance? You mentioned people kind of put it off. What do you think that's due to?
There's a lot of misconceptions about life insurance, and I think it's just from, people getting bad information or misinformation, or maybe some companies out there that are not really the most ethical or transparent about how the products work. But one misconception is that it's very expensive, and insurance in some cases, some of our plans have actually decreased in price because people are living longer. So we're able to insure you for less money. So it's important to assess the client's needs and their budget, and then we customize a solution for the client. So whatever budget constraint or budget you have, we can design a solution to work for you. So that's the biggest misconception. And then another one is that it's a waste of money. And many people might argue that car insurance is a waste of money, yet you pay, $100, $200 a month, no problem writing, your check out to your car insurance company. And you only see that money if you file a claim. So life insurance, if you kind of look at it the same way, it's an expense. And, depending on the plan you have, you could get a plan that will actually help you accumulate money and help you in retirement. So we have all different types of plans. And, think about having that money coming into your family or to your business. If you were to suddenly pass away, I show up with a check that could be for minimally $100,000 for you, your family, or your business to help them offset expenses at that time. So you can create an estate with just a couple dollars a month. So we do, that's a big misconception that it's not worth it. And, depending on the plan you get, wouldn't it be great if somebody showed up with $1 million when you passed away for your family so that they can take care of all their expenses and, not have to move out of their house, not have to change their lifestyle. You could keep your business going. You would need to keep paying your employees. So these are all conversations that I have with my business owner clients so that we're getting them prepared in the event that they pass away prematurely. So I think, the misconceptions are out there, but, sitting with somebody like me and reviewing all the benefits is a good idea.
So it's interesting because in some, let's say, silver lining, for lack of a better word, COVID has maybe made it a little bit easier to have that conversation, or at least start thinking about it, because I think people get busy with their lives, right? Especially as business owners and professionals, and we don't think to do that. We don't think to plan until, God forbid, the inevitable happens and we weren't prepared. So, these are good words of advice for people to start thinking of, and it's a conversation, right? It starts with a conversation and finding the best solution. But something that I think I've seen you do is actually, let me pivot a little bit. So in order to have the conversation, do you advise business owners or any individuals to kind of do some preparatory homework before they talk to you, or what would you?
I would say just call me and start a conversation. I think, one of the reasons people procrastinate is like, oh, I don't have all my paperwork together, or I don't know what policies I have, or I think the most important thing to do is just take action and pick up the phone and just have a conversation. And then I help you kind of figure it out, as we go along, and make it easy and pleasant and not uncomfortable for you. But yeah, just pick up the phone, no preparation. We're here to walk you through everything and give you the information
for us, right?
I'm sorry?
For us, right?
I couldn't hear you, Heidi. I'm sorry.
They'll make it easy.
Make it easy. Just do it. Yeah, just do it. And like I said, I think people make excuses. They're like, oh, I don't have my policy in front of me. Oh, I don't know how much money I have in my mutual fund account, whatever it is. I help you pull all of that together, and we work through it as a team.
So just on that note, I wanted to call attention to the fact that Dee Dee has put her contact information in the chat, so you're welcome to connect and pick up the phone or get a Zoom call going. She does have office hours Mondays 3 to 5, so be sure to take a look at that if you want to reach out to Dee Dee. Otherwise, you can just call her up and have a conversation, because she's fun to have a conversation with.
Just call me. I talk on the phone for a living, so I really love talking to people.
So another question, we have to know you a little more personally. So when you're not working, where do you like to spend your time?
Well, life is different now, right? That we cannot do all the things that we used to just take for granted. So I decided to get a puppy. I've always dreamed of having a puppy. Well, actually a dog, but I wound up with a puppy. So when I'm not working, I'm walking her or scolding her or training her or feeding her.
So what kind of puppy do you have?
I have a little, she's a Chihuahua Maltese mix, and she's sleeping right next to me. And that's what I love. Like, now I can work from home and And I have my little puppy with me all day, and most of the day she sleeps when she's good. And Heidi has seen her, and she's absolutely adorable. And we got her a trainer. So since she started working with a trainer, her behavior is so much better. But I'm just gonna wake her up for a second so you can see her. Come on, Bella.
You didn't know we had a special guest with us today.
This is Bella.
Is she a rescue?
Yeah,
What a cutie.
I got her from a rescue, and she's 3.5 months old.
I
She looks
follow her
very
on
sweet.
Instagram, and she has a very good life.
She has her own Instagram page. and she's my BFF, aside from Michael. And isn't she adorable?
Very cute. She looks a little sleepy right now, but it is adorable.
Yeah, she's so adorable. So that's
Oh,
what I do
gosh.
most of my time is with the puppy, and until she's a little more self-sufficient, I don't have much of a personal life.
Well, I have to say that, just cuteness overload #1. So as we do these member spotlights going forward, you've set the bar pretty high for the cuteness factor.
Yes, I think I should get the award for the cutest puppy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, she's the
bring
joy
her.
of my life right now. Really happy with my Bella. Right, Bella?
Since we've got so much great engagement thanks to Bella, I tell you, puppies are the key here. Do we have any questions for Dee Dee? If so, please feel free to ask a question. If not, I've got a few more that I'm curious about.
Well, I guess I have a question about
Sure,
life
Michael.
insurance. So I've always worked in a corporate environment where I had life insurance provided for me through the corporation. What would be the benefit of me having my own life insurance policy?
That's a great question, Michael. And I have that question come up every day with my clients. Basically, many people get insurance through their company, but when they leave their company, they no longer have their insurance for the most part. So I recommend everyone sit with an advisor like me to also put in place a personal plan that you have control over, and that you kind of dictate how much coverage you want for how long, and have that. And then your policy through work is sort of like the icing on the cake, because your company owns that policy, you don't. So I recommend everyone have their own personal life insurance, whether you're single, married, divorced, whatever your status is. You should have some life insurance in place, especially if you own a home, to cover your debt, to cover your mortgage. You want to make sure there's something that's going to help take care of alleviating that debt so it doesn't go to your family when you pass away. So there's a lot of reasons to have your own life insurance policy, and I'm happy to, have a one-on-one discussion with any of you if you want to get more information and get some quotes.
I guess I have a question. So, like, how much would a policy be, just in general terms, if I wanted to carry a policy that was $1 million?
Okay, so Michael, it depends on your age, your health, and your gender. And that's how life insurance is priced. So, so you and I would have to sit and just go over some options and some numbers, and just find the right fit for you in terms of your budget. So that's something I'd like to personally discuss one-on-one with you. Does that help?
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so let's schedule a time to talk about that, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks, Michael.
I have a question.
Yes, hi,
Are-
Jim.
Hi there. Are you more of a fan of whole life or term life?
I am a fan of all of it. I love all of it. And usually, when I work with someone and we're talking about what kind of insurance is right for them, I like to take you through a series of questions and get some more information about what your needs are and what your goals are. And if possible, I mean, we like to give you and design a customized portfolio of insurance. So you may get some term and some whole life in your portfolio. Like for instance, I have both. So, you know, we can discuss different options. But both are great. Term is the least expensive and it gives you the most kind of bang for your buck. And that's like renting. And whole life is like buying a home where you're investing in an asset that's going to be with you for the long term. So they both have great benefits. So I say have a little of both. And if you'd like to get like a little more information about what that might look like for you, Jim, I'm happy to have a private conversation with you. Okay?
That was a really good analogy. I don't think I've ever heard it described as that. It always feels like it's all or nothing, at least based on my personal history. So I think that's a good way of looking at it in terms of your financial appetite and how much you're willing to invest.
Yeah, and we want to make sure we're hitting all your needs. So before we recommend term or whole life, we want to sit and go through some questions with you and see what makes the most sense, because everybody has a unique situation. So you wouldn't have like a cookie cutter policy being pulled off the shelf with us. You would have a customized portfolio of solutions that's specifically for you.
Is Bella in your policy?
Bella is not in my policy, but Bella has her own pet insurance policy. We don't have them at New York Life, but that was the first thing I did when I brought her home. I got her insurance the next day.
That's a smart move because the pet insurance goes up significantly as they age.
Yeah.
I know my dog's 10 years old and whew, it's expensive now.
Is it? Yeah,
Yes.
I got her a small policy. It's about $20 a month. So I was happy. I'm happy with that. And I keep hearing, you know, dog health bills are outrageous sometimes. So
They're more than people bills.
yeah, exactly. So let me put her down. So I want to make sure I don't get hit with some major vet bills down the line. So we'll make sure she's insured.
So Dee Dee, I'm going to take another tack here. So what other professionals do you work with in terms of maybe referral partners, or what would be a good referral for you?
I work with some really great referral partners in real estate, in mortgage lending, and estate planning attorneys are really great referrals for me because their clients usually have life insurance as part of their estate plan. So those are all great referral partners for me. I would say that, and CPAs as well, because CPAs are working with the business owner or the professional's financial statements and taxes, and very often they'll call me to either discuss life insurance or to discuss opening an IRA for the client, or some other investment strategies. So.
Good to know. So keep those in mind, because I know we have, you know, quite a few fellow chamber members as we all meet other business owners and professionals.
Oh, and other insurance agents, you know, like auto insurance, health insurance is really important. Like I get a lot of requests for health insurance for people that need health insurance. So I don't write it. I could, but it's a little out of my wheelhouse. I am licensed for it, so I refer that out to a specialist.
Medicare,
exactly. I have a really good friend who specializes in Medicare, and she gets all my referrals right now, and she used to write my own personal health insurance as well. So that's important.
We may want to introduce you to a couple other folks, not to disrupt your professional referral.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, unfortunately, Heidi, since since we haven't been having our networking events, I haven't had the opportunity to mingle with a lot of our other chamber partners. So I'm hoping Wednesday night, maybe you can make some introductions for me.
I'll make an introduction to you right now with John Ballard.
Okay.
On the
Yeah, I
line.
saw John's name on one of my lists.
Yeah, you guys should
Great.
definitely connect.
Okay.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you.
Sure. So, Dee Dee, I know you've been working on, I'm going to call it a passion project for lack of a better term, where you're really trying to focus on an area of I guess a demographic, if you will, with encouraging and empowering women to really get comfortable with investing and looking at their financial situation. I don't generalize, typically speaking, but I know it's challenging for everybody to kind of think about and talk about money. But do you want to tell us a little bit more about what you are bringing forward to the table in regards to this particular, I'll say, niche?
Sure. My company, New York Life Investments, commissioned a study, and they really wanted to understand the needs of women investors. And, they uncovered a lot of information that was telling us that women investors are not really getting the information and the advice they need. And they're having difficulty finding advisors that can relate to them, that speak their language, that they can trust. So I really took this as a big opportunity because my company is supplying us with a lot of collateral and information and marketing materials and just webinars, everything to address the needs of women investors. So I've taken that on as my passion project. That's my niche. And I really want women to feel comfortable with their advisor and be able to come to me as like a go-to person to get advice on anything financial. And I'm doing a lot of educational webinars. I'm doing, Facebook Lives. I'm trying to get out there as much as possible and let the women know that there's someone here that is ready to speak to them and can be the person that they can confide in. So.
Okay. So stay tuned. Watch this space because you're going to be doing a series of those things. And
I'm launching some new investment seminars for the fall season. So those are just getting planned out and posted specifically in women's networking groups. So.
Well, certainly if you need to make those announcements to our chamber members, that's obviously a benefit and an option we have available to members of the Lomita Chamber of Commerce. So if we can be part of that and help spread the word, we can talk about some of the vehicles we have for that. The other thing I wanted to also bring up is now, you're somebody looking to do business in Lomita and in the South Bay community, and I know you've done some networking prior to joining the chamber. I think it was last year, right? We've been talking now for a couple of years, and because we met through different networking channels. But from your perspective, how does the chamber help you? How have you utilized the chamber to help you with your business?
The chamber helps because, first of all, Heidi does a great job of bringing information to me and all the chamber members about how they can operate their business, especially during the past couple months during the pandemic. So a lot of that information that the board and that Heidi was putting forth was really helpful. The community calls and, bringing people together, and a lot of the information was really just so useful and important during these past couple of months. The chamber gives me an opportunity to network with other professionals and business owners, to make new friends, meet new people, have fun, promote my business. And I just thoroughly enjoy it. I'm a social person, so being part of the chamber is something I really enjoy. And I love being an ambassador because I get to call everyone and just chat and, just have fun. So yeah, so the chamber's great. I think if you're a business owner or a professional in the Lomita area, you should definitely be a member. It's worthwhile. There's so much information. There are so many resources available to you on the website. Heidi does a great job of setting up different events and different channels, like the Lomita Farmers Market, for instance, which allow you to promote your business there. And a lot of other different types of events like virtual happy hour, which is coming up this Wednesday. So, even during this Zoom COVID time, the chamber is a great way to stay connected with people. So I'm really grateful to be a member.
Well,
Heidi?
thank you. Yes.
I hope you recorded that, because that's about the best testimonial you're ever going to get.
I don't know. I think we can do better. I'm kidding. No, we are recording this. Yes. For those of you who did join on later. Yes, we are recording this because we also want this to be an example of the member spotlight going forward. As I said at the beginning, we want to give this opportunity to our chamber members to highlight their business and do exactly what we're doing now, right? Getting to know each other. So thank you, Jim. Good point. We have it recorded, and thank you, Dee Dee, for that support. And I just want to give a shout out to Dee Dee. I mean, we are a new and growing chamber, and some people haven't been involved with the chamber or haven't been on a board or haven't been an ambassador. So, we're really looking at grooming our membership in different ways and creating those opportunities as a chamber should offer. So Dee Dee's really stepped up on our ambassador team with making the phone calls. She's good at that. This is something that I think not everybody's comfortable with. So she's been able to motivate some of our other fellow chamber members and ambassadors by doing a work sprint. So even if you pick up the phone to talk to her about how she gets on the phone and she approaches her clients, it's actually been really quite helpful. So Dee Dee, I'm going to have you, this is totally off script, right? But I'm going to have you tell us kind of what your methodology was for getting some of our other ambassadors to do that work sprint via Zoom last week.
I have to make phone calls for a living. It's part of my contract with New York Life. So it's on my schedule every day. And I've done, I recently did a personal development program, which was incredible. And I led a call rally every day at 4 p.m. for about 3 months, where I had agents from all over the country join me on Zoom. And we spent the entire hour just calling clients or texting them or sending messages. And those meetings made our activity and helped our business incredibly and got us all motivated and inspired. So now I'm making that part of my daily routine when I'm part of a group where I'm like, let's get on Zoom, put it on mute, dial the phone. And it just keeps you accountable, because I think as we're all working remotely, we can get stuck, or we can get lazy, or we make excuses, or we want to, I don't know, cook or go do laundry or take the dog out. So I'm inspired, motivated to keep the ambassador team on track with the phone calls and the outreach, and myself. And, I have to make 125 calls a week. That's part of my business plan. So chamber members are part of those calls.
That's awesome. We so appreciate that support and your time. And it's just really helpful. I know I called it a work sprint. You called it a call-a-thon.
Call-a-thon, Zoom, yeah. Zoom call, work sprint.
It's really effective. It's also called the Pomodoro technique. And there's a reason why, but basically you do like a 15-minute sprint, right? So you're working on your project, or you're on the phone, and then you take a 5-minute break and you talk to all your people in your accountability group. You just let off some steam. You talk about the weather, and then you go back at it maybe for two more rounds. But you don't feel alone. And in this time of feeling kind of lonely, it's a really, I think, powerful and effective way to stay engaged, get the work done, hold each other accountable, and have a little fun at it, right? You can talk to other people, not even in your industry or your profession. So, maybe there's a way we can kind of structure a little bit of that and just call it, to make it happen, and see if some of the chamber members want to do that or kind of do it on their own initiative. Just a really good tip. So it's just a way to get stuff done without procrastinating, which we all do.
It's fun. And I have a group in my office that we get on at 4:00 every day, and we do stretches and exercises and jumping and, just to get our energy up and get into a different state, so that when we get on the phone with our clients, we're bringing that energy to them. And it makes it so much better.
What's that? The Channel 5 838 stretch?
I don't know what it is, John. Someone puts on music and we just start jumping and dancing, and it's actually fun. It's a lot of fun. Every Saturday and Sunday on Channel 5, they have the 838 stretch. And that's I've never seen that.
Oh, you gotta, it's just like the highlight of the show is that stretch that they do. I have a question. I'm on a board of a foundation, and we're looking for larger companies that can help the foundation. Do you guys have an avenue like that you help out other foundations?
Well, we have our own foundation. We have New York Life Foundation, and New York Life Foundation helps a lot of different nonprofits.
That's what we are.
You're a nonprofit?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, there could be some opportunity. We have a lot of different projects going on. We have grants.
Yes.
Right now we're focused on the Brave of Heart Fund, which is helping families who lost loved ones to COVID that are in the healthcare space, and we're giving money to those families. And we have some other initiatives are grief awareness and education, but would love to talk with you, John, about ways that I can get you connected with the foundation and maybe apply for some of our grants, depending on what's happening. So that's something I really love about our company, because we do have that, and the agents and the staff are very engaged in volunteer projects and different ways to promote the foundation.
Okay, thank you. We'll be in touch.
Okay, great.
All right. Are there any other questions for Dee Dee before we wrap up and make a few last announcements? No? Those were great questions, guys.
Yeah, this was fun.
That's what you said. Instead of just do it, it's just have fun, right?
Just have fun. I mean, if you can have fun in your work life, then that's the key to success in my book. If you really love what you do and you can have fun every day, it's like it doesn't feel like work.
Yep.
Right?
All right. Well, I just want to thank you again, Dee Dee, for being here. Again, Dee Dee McGuire with New York Life, and her contact information is in the chat. If you didn't get a chance to grab it, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'm happy to connect you. John and Dee Dee, I'll probably just make an email introduction if you don't already have each other's information. And I just want to say thank you, Dee Dee, for stepping up and being one of our ambassadors and being a dedicated volunteer, as well as being on this first membership spotlight. If any of you as chamber members would like to be on a member spotlight going forward, we do record this so you have some evergreen content, and you can use this in your own marketing, and certainly the chamber is going to be marketing you post-event, post-video. So it's a great way to have some extra marketing materials in your arsenal. And the other thing I wanted to say is, as Dee Dee mentioned, thanks for the shout out, I'm posting right now in the chat the link for people to sign up for the Chamber's social hour that we're doing this Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. We're going to have a mystery guest. So it will be our guest's mission, if they so choose it, to ask yes or no questions to our guest, who will remain anonymous until somebody gets it right. So.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, we'll have a little gift for the person who wins, because you got to have prizes. People love prizes.
And And you don't have to be a member to come to the social hour.
That's correct.
It's open to everyone.
Yep. Yeah. So it should be a good time. We're trying new stuff on Zoom. And again, join it. We're asking for a donation. It could be whatever, $5, $1, $10, whatever you're so inclined to donate, just to keep, you know, the Chamber's programs and events running. It just helps a little bit. So whatever you feel inclined to provide, we much appreciate it. And if that's it, anything else you want to close with, Dee Dee?
I just want to thank everyone for attending. It really means a lot to me to have your support, and I'm happy to just, you know, be here for you as a resource for whatever information may help you. And I look forward to getting to know everyone if we haven't met before.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you again, Dee Dee. Good to see everybody's faces.